I do, however, have an entire fucking doc's worth of notes
Oh, wow.
for this book.
Basically, what I'm going to be doing is going back through the conversation I had with ChatGPT about everything about this book that pissed me off.
You had a combo with ChatGPT?
Yeah. Whenever I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
at like
amazing.
with like continuity of things, like if I'm doing Sherlock Holmes or something like that, I'll
Mhm.
go, I'll throw my ideas into ChatGPT and then it'll respond with something based on like, earlier stuff I've told it about. And so like it has that kind of working memory.
Right.
And I can kind of bounce ideas off of it and stuff. It's better than me just like talking to myself.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It's definitely interesting. All right. Well, let's eviscerate. Spend an hour very level-headedly reviewing this book that we paid money for.
I think I'll be more level-headed than you will because by the end, I no longer hate the book. I
Okay.
just, it's just not great.
All right. Let's see. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gung-Ho Book Club, a fair college travel podcast featuring the thoughts of online randos on books written by people who've done far more for universal literature than we can possibly hope to. Some of them, anyway. My name is Costin Becchiano, but you can call me Cozzy, and I'm to blame for most of the stuff happening on this blog, for better or worse. With me today is my longtime friend and self-avowed sword and sorcery scholar, Cowboy Cam Wooten.
Howdy, howdy.
Fair warning, we're adults who like to hang out and use adult language together. We're here to read books and talk shit. And we're just done reading the Guns of Mars quote-unquote Barsoom novel by Chuck Dixon. Copious amounts of nonsense and spoilers will follow. Now, Guns of Mars was published by Castalia House. I think you mentioned them publishing something else last we
Yes,
spoke.
they published 2 Conan novels from Chuck Dixon. They are behind me here. Caravan of the Damned was the second one, and the first one was this, I think, The Siege of the Black Citadel.
And they're kind of not in the continuity, right? But
They were not published initially in mind with being part of any sort of like organized continuity other than the Howard stories. But Titan Publishing / Heroic Signatures / I think Cabinet Entertainment are the people that own all of the Conan. Oh, and Conan properties. They're like all this one like conglomeration now that they were like, hey, you can't do that. We still have the copyright on Conan. What are you doing? And so they worked out a deal with them to where Castalia House doesn't, I guess, get the shit suit out of them. And Chuck Dixon's books still get to exist. They've just been moved into the Titan line, and I guess they're reprinting them at some point, or maybe they already have. I don't know. So I think they're going to be retroactively canon.
well, I'm not sure this is going to go anywhere past where it is because I think Chuck has said that it is his one and done that he did to like get Barsoom out of his system.
Good.
So yes, yes indeed.
I like Chuck Dixon. Don't get me wrong. I
Same
like
here.
him a lot.
Yes.
But this is a very poor representation of Barsoom.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's his best work either. We'll get into the whys, but the book came out December 11th, 2025. It is now February 21st, 2026 when we're recording this. Um, I just wanted to say I checked the retail prices for the book. So Amazon has it for like 25 bucks. Locally
Sheesh.
it goes for between 30 and 35. The Kindle is like 520 something. That's kind of where we got it for when it came out. And I was really excited to get it too.
Yeah, I was
Because I
too,
was like,
because
Chuck Dixon, Barsoom, like, yes, please. And my experience with the John Carter mythos comes mostly from comics, like various arcs and like Deja Taurus and all sorts of like Princess of Mars stuff.
okay, so like the old Marvel Warlord of Mars and then like the Dynamite Warlord of
Dynamite's,
Mars
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
the Deja Taurus ones. I
exactly.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the movie, which I didn't hate.
Oh, I love the movie. It's not canon, but it has the spirit of the series.
hmm Well, this one has there's some of the spirit of the series in one particular sequence, or
Yeah.
maybe more, but there's a like very ham-fisted bit, I guess we'll get to right in the middle somewhere. Um, but yeah, so speaking of, because last time we were talking about inflated book prices, but this is like the hardback I think that I found locally for like 35, but that is a lot of fucking money for a one and done book, I think. And this is 178 pages.
Yeah, it
So,
shouldn't be that much.
yeah, it's like a pamphlet.
Yeah. Like those Conan books that we mentioned that he wrote, those were paperbacks, but those were cheap, cheap, cheap. I don't remember what they were now, but
Paperbacks tend to be
be way
cheaper, and
cheaper.
yeah, I tend to buy paperbacks if I can help it, but I couldn't find it locally for in paperback, so you know.
Like, I prefer hardcovers because of the durability,
hmm
but
They're harder to read
they are harder to
generally.
read. I don't know, just they're so expensive now. It's got to be something in a series that I actually love
hmm
for me to get a hardback now. Like, am I going to buy Conan books in hardback? Absolutely, because I love Conan. Same thing for Red Sonja. There's been exactly one from the new series, but I got it. And I used to do that with Star Wars. Now Star Wars is dog shit, so I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, fair. Let's set the scene here. The novel takes place on Barsoom, the Barsoom that John Carter takes place on, but it's about 1,000 years into the future.
Which is not very well explained in the story.
No, it's explained in the blurb,
Yeah.
like the back cover description, which I
Yes.
don't actually have on hand, but I know it appears. Bloody Amazon with 5-step verifications.
And so whenever we were like first looking at it and stuff, it was like, oh, okay. So how is he doing a John Carter story that's 1,000 years in the future? That's weird.
Poorly.
Yes.
How? Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
And then he doesn't help it by the way he uses the main character either. It makes it more confusing.
S- Uh, so going into that, we basically follow 2.5 characters, I guess, who have like upwards of 8 arms between them, or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. So like four, five,
Three,
six.
4, 5. No, I think that it's
I think it's
nine
nine.
arms.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 So it's I was just thinking about it right now. So that's a fun tidbit. But you've got there's alliteration, obviously. So you've got Kalkadak, who is a Thark. You've got a John, who is a human and only goes by John. And then you've got not Cad Bane. That's literally who I had in
Yeah,
mind as this guy was.
same.
Uh, I think it's Bahar Barti or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. BB.
BB. Cad Bane, but rich, basically. The book opens with a chase, which kind of carries on as the main plot throughout the damn thing,
Yeah.
in some capacity or another. We learn that Kalkadak is fleeing. He was he's a Warhoon tribe member who dallied with quote unquote the bitch Tagas.
Yeah. Who is like the daughter of the chieftain of their tribe of green Martians.
Yes, of these green Martians that we're talking about. She is too ugly to fuck sober in not so many words, but that was fun. So I guess anyone would run from that. Um, but he's being hunted by a bounty man that keeps to his tail fairly proficiently, I guess, and efficaciously.
And I like that it has this kind of a plot structure because it really ties into the fact that John Carter of Mars is first and foremost a Western, even though it's set on Mars and there's all kinds of weird goofy sci-fi gobbledygook. So I enjoyed bringing the Western angle back to it because as the Barsoom stories go along, you kind of lose a lot of that.
It kind of gets more and more fantastical, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
depending on it. You do have to add, I mean, you don't have to add shit, but it is
yeah.
Mars.
You got to kind of like build the world and do different
Yeah,
things
shit
with it.
gets weird,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
So I kind of like the little bit of returning back to the roots of like the first book, where it's like, oh, this is a little bit more of a Western type plot.
Yeah, my issues are not necessarily with the structure or the choice for the hunt, but rather the way it
Unfolds.
jumps. Yeah, the way the characters just bump into and out of each other's way and how they get together and then fall apart and together again and so on.
It kind of reminds me of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in that way.
I mean, people have said that it's kind of like that, so but the good and the bad and the ugly is helped by the visual aspect. The slowness of the plot here sometimes, like the first chapter is just setup
Yeah,
basically, because you learn what Cal's been doing, you learn that he's being followed, and the chapter kind of ends, and then chapter two starts, and he's got two thoats, I think.
yeah. So
He's
that's what I call them, but yeah,
thoats.
I don't
I
know.
don't know exactly. But his resources are dwindling. 3 days pass. He runs out of water, which is a big theme
Hmm.
in the book. So he empties his bladders into the water skins and drinks his own pee. The role of Kalkadak will from now on be played by Bear Grylls. Running out of water in the endless deserts of Barsoom. Time to drink my own urine. Woman too ugly to fuck. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. Written CUM.
He's just him with like green paint on him and like prosthetic arms.
So this is kind of what how chapter two begins. Suddenly there's snow. For some reason, also this takes place on Mars, so you're expecting like a lot of reds and oranges and stuff. Although uh, NASA uses filters, so the surface of Mars isn't quite as red as we were led to believe.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this entire thing, and because of the similarities, I guess, to Good, Bad, and the Ugly, everything just felt like it was taking place in a like very pale, sandy desert to me.
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
it was so much a fucking western that,
It went too far. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think enough time was spent, like you said, on the setup of the timeline and the vistas, perhaps, because I'm not sure the layout is described more than in terms of forms of relief, and you get the
Lichen?
lichen. There we go. Not the wolf
Yeah.
kind. Later on, but color isn't a thing that really pops up a lot
No, it's not.
in the description of the land.
They kind of just leave that out. I guess it's like Mars is red. You know Mars is red.
Yeah, I know. It's maybe it's a me thing, but my mind just completely like I had to remind myself that
This was Mars.
yeah, stop picturing that, you dumb shit. They're not in the fucking Atacama Desert. So suddenly there's snow, and he sort of manages to eke out his resources a little further.
Because he's up near the polar ice cap.
Yeah, he's heading for Thark, the city, capital T, not Thark. Thark. So I guess Bear Grylls is disappointed now for not having an excuse to drink his own urine anymore.
True.
But he fills up, so he boils water, he fills up his water skins, and the warrior hunter of the Warhoon tribe doesn't physics because his water skins freeze and burst during the next day when it gets really fucking freezing and cold, and he's on the road again, and his thoats slash thoats die.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense because he's from like a vast desert wasteland. He's never been to the polar region, so he doesn't really understand how ice and stuff works.
He knows enough about it to like melt it and drink it.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody knows it's ice, snow, water.
Yeah, maybe I'm being nitpicky on this one. So yeah, he almost dies as well in the process. He almost freezes to death. And he's rescued quote unquote, by the bounty man,
Who it's revealed to be.
who is revealed to be John
Mm-hmm.
Doe.
Mm-hmm.
He's John Doe. And he tells him that his father-in-law,
Yes, because it's his that bitch, whatever her name was.
that bitch,
that bitch's dad.
Tagus, yeah, that bitch is dad. The male bitch has sent the bounty hunters after you. So I like the dynamic that they have now when Cal fairly quickly becomes a captive, and he does try to outsmart John, but he doesn't really manage to do it.
Yeah.
The man has all sorts of like warning alarms in place and stuff. He's also really there's a bit of foreshadowing here where eventually there's a blizzard
Yeah.
and he tries to run and take advantage of the fact that there's low visibility, but wherever he turns, John's there.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a really fun scene. So there, we get a name drop of a place, which is Samarium. We had two other places drop before. Argon or Samarium. It was in chapter 1. That was what Kalkadak was trying to get to.
Which these are
But
like northern lands, like northern city-states on Mars.
actual, like, do they figure in the greater lore? Do you know?
I at first thought that they did, but in my research, let me double check here. I don't think these things are ever actually there. I think he just added them because there are other stories that have like there's other cities and things, but I don't think. Yeah. So Dixon just added to the lore. I just double checked myself. Yeah, those things were never mentioned before, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's 1,000 years into the future, stuff would appear, cities would appear, or be different than what they were before.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cal can't escape, so they're off to Samarium to get him a mount so that they can make their way back to the Warhoons faster,
Yeah.
I guess, which is sensible. They overnight in Samarium, which deals in water, apparently.
Well,
Again,
because
water.
it's the northernmost city, and so they have access to this snow.
During their presence there, Cal gets the shock of his life. They have like cattle prod type weapons.
Which are
The
never,
people there.
ever, ever remotely mentioned in the stories.
It felt so weird to see them.
Yeah, I did not like them. They should not have
Mhm.
been in the story.
Yeah, because guns are a thing, and John has 2 revolvers. Cal has like a blunderbuss, or I guess a
Yeah.
Tharkbus, something, just a
Yeah, it's
giant.
this big Thark rifle, and then I think like radium guns are mentioned, aren't they? Like in the story, like radium pistols.
I think so, yeah. But this felt too high sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like something you'd expect from like a corporation type or empire type faction to have and use.
yeah, like TR
And
radar.
if these, yeah. I guess for people who are herders, this can kind of make sense, but it felt out of place.
Yeah,
Um,
very much so.
this is also where we're introduced to Totally Not Cad Bane,
Mhm.
and we've now walked for 4 chapters.
This is the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, it's Lord of the Rings with less lore being delivered to like tide us from one place to the next.
Okay,
and
so
less wonder.
so that means it's the Hobbit movie, the first one.
So the good one, actually.
Well, yeah, you're right.
The first
I guess
one
it'd be the
is
second one then,
okay.
because the second
Yeah.
Hobbit movie is okay, but it's not good.
Yeah, I'm still not my offense has not died down enough that I can call either of the second or third Hobbit movies okay
That's fair.
just yet. I did enjoy the first one though, like even with
Yeah, the first one's good.
yeah, but mainly sticks to the plot. barring Azog and all of that stupid shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one was the most true to form one. The extended editions are much better as well because they don't cut a lot of stuff out. Like the second one pissed me off when they because I saw it in the cinema. The second one pissed me off when they
Mhm.
introduced Beorn because they skipped the entire sequence where the dwarves enter his cabin, like in ones and twos, which was it. You know, there was a big thing about Beorn not being friendly to a lot of people at the same time in his home.
Yeah.
So that's an extended edition only thing. It got
See, I've
completely
never
cut out.
bothered with the extended editions of the Hobbit movies because I didn't like them enough to watch extended editions.
Well, yeah, I'll watch anything Lord of the Rings twice, in the same day even, and I gave them a shot, and they do make a little bit more sense in certain points at certain points. This being the main one, like this really fucked me up when I saw it. The like cinema version was just fucking stupid. So, but yeah, Hobbit.
Well, speaking of other stupid things, but related to John Carter of Mars,
Less Lord of the
um,
Rings, more Star Man.
something that really, really bothers me in these stories. So when we get to Sumerium,
Hmm.
who are the people in Sumerium?
Wait, so
Like,
there's two kinds of
what?
people, right?
Yeah, there's more than two, but yeah.
Well, the two that are mentioned here. So there's the firstborn.
Yeah, which are the ebon black kind of Martians.
Yeah, and then there's the red-skinned ones.
Yeah, the red Martians, the Heliumites
Okay.
or whatever. So that's the first issue. Black Martians and red Martians don't like each other. They would never live in a settlement together. Black Martians don't live on the surface. Black Martians live underground with, well, they did live with their queen, but John Carter kind of.
Whoops.
So yeah, that's an issue. There's also yellow Martians mentioned.
There was?
Pretty sure. Another issue is this far north, there shouldn't be red Martians or black Martians. There should be yellow Martians only living in yellow Martian settlements because they lived in the snow areas. So there's that going on.
If I were to like devil's advocate here, Chuck can basically do and say whatever because 1,000 years pass. It's a weak. I mean, it's not weak, but it's a.
I still don't see settlements of mixed race Martians existing. I could see there being movement of where people are settled, sure.
Right. Yeah, it's a very hand wavy way of allowing yourself to do whatever because 1,000 years have passed and all manner of Johns could have come and gone in that time and done shit.
And so then we're into another issue. John refers to all of these Martians, except for the green people, as humans.
Yeah.
They're not humans. They have never been called humans. They should never be called humans because they're not human.
They're Martians.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of the most egregious things for me.
I guess it's obviously logical that John's a human, right? Maybe. Half.
Yeah.
Quarter. Something.
He's probably like
we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to the point. But he's humaner than whatever else might be living up here. Really quickly in chapter 5, they get their supplies and leave. Cal gets another helping of high voltage from the prods. Then their pursuer also buys himself a mount and follows in their steps.
You forgot something.
I did?
When they're going to Sumerium, they encounter those random dudes on the Thoats, right?
I think that's later on.
Oh shit.
And it's John meeting the three guys, and then he gets to another settlement. I don't think it's Sumerium.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's further along.
This book all blends together.
Yes, this is another one of the fucking issues. But yeah, so Cad Bane but Rich gets himself a Thoat and follows. He purchases it with diamats, I think they're called.
Some made up currency.
Yeah,
which is fine. Whatever. Sure.
Yeah. So chapter 6 sees them riding along the ridge lines left behind by glacier melts, which is a nice vista. It's also a very Western type thing because you also get the same kind of stuff in Western movies, though not from like glacier melts. You get those like peaks and valleys in like wasteland type environs. So that was fun. Um, they they see some. So Cal is bound like really tight to his Thoat at this point.
Mhm.
And they see some Tharks in the distance, and they sort of take cover so that they're not.
Yeah, because Tharks are of a different Green Martian tribe that hate the Warhoon,
Yes,
and also anyone who's not Tharks.
pretty much. So they take refuge somewhere in the Not Hoover Dam, which is ruined. Um, there's more stuff about water. The you can almost call it cyclopean, I guess, type architecture of the.
The canals.
Yeah, like the destroyed canals, the decrepit
And
walls.
all of this stuff, like the glaciation and the canals, goes back to what Burroughs was talking about in his stories, like that you could see from Earth, which goes back to actual historical, like people thought that Mars had these giant man-made canals on them, and of course we later found out that that's really just glaciation. So Dixon has kind of merged the two of like, yes, canals exist, but there's also these like giant glaciated areas, kind of bringing the sci-fi a little bit more grounded for our knowledge point,
Yeah, and
which I
I
enjoyed.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't mind that. It's a nice. I guess it's a nice backdrop. Um, on one hand, it's a nice backdrop to like see the ruins of civilization and pass through them. Um, on the other hand, it's a very, it sort of railroads the whole thing, like literally physically at one point.
Yeah,
And I think that might be one of the reasons why I thought it was boring in terms of vistas and in terms of Mars and being on Mars, because they're basically trudging through the bottom of a canal until near the end they're out in the open and then they find a mountain, and I'm getting ahead of myself. It felt like from here on in, when they're riding along the ridge lines and then going into the canals and through the tunnels and whatnot, there's very little variation to what they're doing, and I'm not sure about the exact distance that they're covering.
yeah, that's never really
It's never
specified.
explained. It's just they do a lot of walking. Like it's the walkingest book since Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, honest
Uh,
to God.
and yeah, it's good stuff and bad stuff about that. But we switch over to chapter 7. I have them all like chapter by chapter.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, if you want to like zoom through these, but I wanted to see exactly what happens because this is a short fucking book. It's 178 pages. Some chapters are like John getting his shit together, choosing a heading, having two thoughts, and then it's done.
Yeah, which is weird. That could have just been like a little section of a chapter.
Exactly. So even with the stuff as it is, like 178 pages, it could have been shorter. Which is that's fucking weird to me. Um,
Something I want to point out too
yeah.
that we've not mentioned is there is a massive, massive tonal shift between John Carter of Mars and this story.
Mhm.
Like, there is a lot more like foul language in this, which really threw me out because I'm like, John Carter would never say fuck. He would never call someone a bitch. No, what is going on? What is happening? Of
Yeah.
course, I later find out why that, but
Yeah.
still, it it really throws you off when you're reading it because you're like, this is not John Carter of Mars. This is some sort of weird post John Carter of Mars Western Barsoom post apocalyptic Fallouty type setting.
Fallout is actually a good shout. I'd not consider that until
Yeah, it's
just
like,
now.
what if Fallout was on Mars?
I guess
And it's
there's too many mounts for that,
well, but like
yeah, I get your point. I get your point.
part of that too is that like so like I enjoy Fallout, but I don't enjoy Fallout as much as I do like say Elder Scrolls because the environment is so freaking boring. It's just a wasteland and it's awful and miserable. And that's what this book is. It's an awful, miserable, boring wasteland that they trudge through the entire book. And it's like, and the old John Carter's got around that because you just had your little airship, so you just zoom, zoom, zoom from place to place. And so
Yeah,
you saw a little bit of the here's the boring, awful wasteland, but here's all these vibrant cities that we bounce around.
yeah, which made things vibrant and exciting, and you always had
Hmm.
something happening, which was and don't get me wrong, the this tone is fine with what it's trying to do, and it has its
Yeah,
place. But even at 178 pages, it's too fucking long.
yeah,
And the anyway, let's just keep going. Um, Cal makes his escape by biting down on his Thoat's ear
yeah.
to scare it off and into the distance. He tramples John in the escape, which begs the question: why didn't John just jump out of the way this time?
Uh, yeah.
Because this was I retroactively thought this after he sees John jumping later on.
Yes, because he did. We don't. I mean, it was implied in
It
the
was implied
like John.
first in the blizzard.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but it was never explicitly mentioned.
yeah,
And then, like you said, retroactively after the next few scenes, you're like, hey, wait a minute.
yeah, because I think there's a note there in the narration where he didn't even have time to like bring up his guns because the Thoat had like been gone in full rage mode and he was trampling toward John, who was I think overlooking the Tharks at that point or whatever.
Yeah, he's like scoping them out, seeing like what they're up to, because he's got his carbine with him.
Right. But like you didn't have to shoot him. You could have just, you know,
Moved out of the way.
did a fucking double jump, Mario. So Cal tries to lie his way around the three Tharks that he runs into, fails, kills all three of them anyway.
It was like a D&D session. Like you walk up upon the guards and you try and like bluff them. The bluff is like a natural one, and then
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
shit.
Maybe your intro you're all like a 12 to open, because he tries to pass it off as the bounty man hunting him for like whatever he did to his relatives or tribe earlier on or whatever. But
Hmm.
the fact that he has like a poor Thark's saddle and a rich Thark's sword and carbine,
Yeah,
I think kind of blow his cover there. So he goes back in the next chapter, turns John into a prisoner.
very good. The bad, and the ugly vibes again.
Yes, there's a comment that Cal makes to John, and the words are as dull a wit as yours. And my notes say, says the guy who doesn't understand freezing water and got lost on his own planet. Uh,
That's good, boy.
yeah, it's like pot, kettle, black Martian.
Yeah, that is
Um,
something in this story. Like most of the people are like really stupid. They do some really questionable things.
there's a lot of dumb shit that like if Darwin grew up on Mars and put the like evolutionary scale into order, these people would be like right near the beginning of the
Hmm.
whole fucking thing, all of them, all of these main characters. So yeah, the third guy is again on their trail. There's also a bit about shear and shear. Um, Chuck keeps referring to shear walls, and it's like SHEAR.
Which
Um,
is different because that's like shearing something, right?
yes. So my note is shear some sheep, let the walls be sheer. But I
Yeah.
also read, I think, that shear walls are something that is like a reinforcement of some type. But the
So maybe
way,
this wasn't a typo?
yeah, but the way that it's not posed as that. It's like the wall was sheer, like it was a vertical, so it's posed as if he was trying to say something
Oh.
else. But if you rummage a bit, you can make it work, though in context it doesn't. And this happens a few times. And every time
Yeah, I
it's a
just looked up what those sheer walls with an A are.
yeah, so it makes sense
That's
in the like viaduct type thing that they're running around
but
in.
later on it doesn't work.
No, it's again because the next sheer walls are like
Like a
falling
canyon.
apart and yeah, canyon walls. So yeah, anyway. My next note says it's chapter 9. My next note says, and we're walking. More wiki stuff on animals and always a bigger fish hiding several paragraphs down the line. They find a fallen airship, which is the first interesting bit of Barsoom that we come across.
Yeah, it's like,
Uh,
"Oh, hey, remember this that was in the John Carter stories?" I was like, "Yeah, where the hell are these things at?"
yeah, yeah. Was there an airship that passed in the beginning
Yeah, yeah, there was a
overhead?
yeah.
Because that's how like Cal sort of got his bearing and sort of guessed toward where he was supposed to go.
Yeah, but I think they refer to it as it's, like, sputtering and stuff, like, it's, like, run down.
Right. Well, this one's been here a while, and they find water inside of it, purer than any water that they've ever tasted. And so Cal has a taste, doesn't want to let John get near it, but he's like, listen, I can tell you more about this than you know. And in the ensuing discussion and discovery of what lies inside the airship, they end up partnering up.
Yeah, which again, good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, there's a bit where I think Cal asks what's in the ledger. There's a ledger inside the ship that like charts its course, and that's how they can see where it came from and where it got that water from. And I think Cal asks what's in the ledger, and John's answer is something to the like to the effect of "words, you illiterate bastard," which makes me think that one of John's ancestors is not only John Carter but also John Bateman, because there's that scene with Christopher Bell of "What is it, you stupid bastard?" It's like that instantly came to mind when this was happening. So they've got an interesting like kill you before you kill me dynamic in this partnership, which works. Like you
Yeah,
expect that, right?
yeah, I like the, bounty hunter and prey team up against the world type of situation. That's a classic kind of Western trope. I enjoy that. I did have a question with this though. So, like, do the green Martians not have written language, or is the written language of the other Martians a different written language?
I guess it would be different, right?
Maybe, but they all speak the same language.
You can learn to speak a language without writing it or reading it.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if this is ever addressed in the original John Carter stories either. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember there even being writing in the original ones. Like, I'm sure there was, but I don't remember it
Yeah,
being like a
but
major plot point.
it wasn't a major plot point, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they partner up. They decide to like follow this airship to wherever it came from. Chapter 10 opens with a gun measuring contest where they talk about like Cal supports his giant fucking blunderbuss, and John says he can get off 4 shots for Cal's one from the rifle, which prompted my note to be Crom laughs at your 4 shots. The barbarian Thark.
Hmm.
There's a bit of humor where Cal asks if John will at least share the general direction of this eye of water, and John says it is to the south generally. That is very general. So
Hmm.
that was a couple fine quips. So they're going through this landscape, and the only signs of life were nattering insects humming in thick clouds over skeletal remains heaped everywhere. The only signs of life, right? And then a couple paragraphs on, they suddenly find game,
Yeah,
which I don't know.
completely contradicts that because if there were like animals nearby, then you would find like footprints or like
Yeah, like
dung or
you described a graveyard that was overtaken by insects, and then made a point out of the only signs of life. And then they used blades or snares to capture smaller game, a variety of multi-legged furred things of a species unknown to them. So,
yeah, that doesn't track.
yeah. And near the end of this chapter, Cal has had enough of pathfinding down the ravine and shoots John's throat in the throat. Basically.
His throat in the throat.
Or that. Either of those work. I will take either of those. Maybe it's a throat in the throat. And suddenly a wild Orlick appears. It uses bite. It's very effective.
Very effective.
Yes.
Which it's a white ape, right?
The Orlick? No, I think it's isn't it it's described as a lizardy feline type thing.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't remember.
It's an Arctic predator with a black and yellow striped coat whose legs are not described. But it has many. It has 6 legs, I believe.
So it has fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tabletop game calls it a size of a jaguar, but looks like a weasel, but with like a ton of legs.
The Barsoom Phantom Wiki says it's a fierce elephantine beast of prey, found almost exclusively in the far north regions of Mars. Black and yellow striped fur.
Black and yellow.
What follows is this, what seemed to me like an overlong hunt where the Orlok tries to take Cal and he's trying to escape from it, and he scampers up a wall, and then he scampers further up the wall, and then the Orlok
thing jumps up on the wall.
Yeah, and then comes after him, and then keeps coming after him, and we know he's not gonna die because it's the like middle of the fucking book. So it's kind of dragged on. It's interesting. He shoots at it for a few, he takes a couple shots at it. This is also where he sees Jump Carter of Mars on the other end of the canyon, because he took to the other wall and he scampers. Yeah, he scampers up the fucking thing like the John Carter of the the opening of the first Barsoom book.
Which I have a problem with.
Okay, go on.
Okay, the reason why John Carter of Mars, because we're at the point now where clearly this is not our John Carter of Mars. This is a different John Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and so that makes sense why he has the coarser language and things like that. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, boom. Probably should have specified that at the beginning. But anyway, so then the reason why John Carter of Mars, ours, the real one, is able to jump and things is because he is from Earth with Earth gravity, and Mars, Barsoom, has Barsoom gravity, and he can do like some wild ass jumps.
Yep.
Which makes, in a sci-fi setting, sense.
Yeah.
This John Carter of Mars, who has been born on Mars, presumably, 1,000 years later, should not be able to jump like that. He would have the same musculature and jump ability as like red Martians and yellow Martians and black Martians and whatever.
Yep. It's not like a genetical predisposition of John Carter that he could do that. It's not like this one of his chromosomes just went boing.
It's not like the original John Carter was like an NBA basketball player who had hops. He was just a regular guy.
Fucking Carter, dude. It's like it's Mars, not the Phoenix Suns, okay?
Yeah. So when that happened, that's when I went, wait a minute, that's stupid.
It is. It really is. It's worse than Marvel level pandering to the fans.
Yes.
It's like, remember this? This was a thing. This was a really big thing, because the first scene that he does that in, he's like getting to grips with his powers. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like crawling on all fours to keep to the ground.
Yeah, because he's like, oh my god, what is happening?
What the fuck? And then the Tharks come and he jumps over them and they're like, oh, what the fuck? So,
yeah.
There's a comment here that says, and yet it stirred a memory in him, prodding out a question he had kept closeted away in his mind over the days since his capture by the bounty man, which is, I guess, a reference to the Blizzard thing where he kept popping up here and there. Didn't really need to be there. Like, we're not stupid, hopefully. Yeah. But the longest boss...
No, we did buy the book. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, but it's Chuck Dixon, man. He came up with Bane for fuck's sake. Speaking of The Hobbit, he wrote the script for the Hobbit trade paperback, which I keep plugging wherever because it's a really good rendition of the Hobbit book, and like the kid loves it, and yeah,
So
so
that's what it was. He really likes books about walking, so he had to make one.
he made the walking manual of Mars. Uh, God, yeah. The longest boss battle this side of Dark Souls ends because of sniper fire.
Yeah.
Um, which is fired by 88, which don't tell the Redditors Chuck chose this because they already think he's a Nazi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, liberals already have issues with Chuck Dixon. The fact that he chose 88 to name this character is, you know,
So I don't know how much do you know about Barsoom.
uh, at this point scant because it's been years. I just started rereading the first book like
Okay,
a few weeks ago.
so I think it's Mastermind of Mars, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
Um, we're introduced to Hormuds. Do you know what Hormuds are?
I don't think so.
So Hormuds are these genetically manipulated clone type things created by the mad scientist, whatever his name is,
Hmm.
like Tharvas or something like that on Mars. That's what this guy is, but he's never mentioned as that because those stories aren't in the public domain.
He he does mention like he gives a bit of backstory eventually.
Yeah, that's like he's like some sort of lab creation.
Yeah, like we were born in a vat, we were left to die and eat and drink whatever we could
Hmm.
find, like whatever we could find, and there was nothing
Yes.
but us, and so
Yeah, and
I guess he's not Cad Bane, he's Cannibal Bane.
right, yes. Um, that's what he is. He's a Hormone.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
so I thought that was a really cool deep cut that he was able to put in there without like actually putting it in there because you
Explicitly, right,
can't.
right. Yeah. That was chapter 11. Chapter 12 has this was one of those chapters that was just fucking pointless because John climbs up the slope, travels for 3 days, comes across three men, kills them all in three max pain bullet times, goes to
Yeah,
Itrium, which is the
this is the one I
second
was
locale.
thinking of. Yeah, because
Yes.
he has the pure water with him,
Yeah.
and they take a drink and they're like, "Hooey boys, let's kill this feller."
So
And yeah,
the only reason that this encounter happens is if he hadn't found a Thoat, it would have added another two chapters to the book.
yeah,
Probably. So
yeah, at least.
he needed to like ex machina into something and like get to Itrium fast. Um, we find out in the next chapter that the bitch Tagas is pregnant. um, Cal tells Barbarti about the pure water, and they both decide to find John, who's the only one who knows like relatively where that water is. So they partner up again. This is the second partnership that we've had in a
Hmm.
relatively short amount of time.
Is this where the second airship comes in the story?
Right after Barbarti and Kalkadak make it to Itrium, and Kal is left behind, so that Barbarti goes into Itrium. That's where he picks up an airboat and comes to.
I thought that at some point an airship showed up and tried to like kill somebody.
Yeah, yeah. That's when he. Isn't it? Is it another one?
Because I thought that happens to Barbarti. He's like walking around and like an airship shows up and there's like these dudes on it that try and like rough him up and then he kills them with his little like hidden third arm.
That's a little later on, apparently, according to my notes.
Jesus.
Oh right, because he didn't take the skyship in the from Itrium. Yeah, they run into the skyship along the way because they also need a faster way to get there because they were on the other
That's
side
what
of the
it
canyon, right?
that's what it is. Yes. Okay.
Yes. John finds Itrium, gets some goods. There's a mention of 8 padans. Is that a Barsoom thing? 8 padans is like 40 days, which they could have just said that.
Oh, yeah, I think that is one. There's hold on. There's like weird time things.
Okay.
let's see here. So Barsoomium time, you've got like ads, softs, and sofads.
Okay.
What did you say, a padan?
I think it's like 40 days because it's something about him having getting supplies for 8 padans
Oh,
and
I think that's something new then,
okay,
because
because
typically days are just referred to as Martian days.
okay, yeah, so
But
maybe it's a bigger unit because by my calculations, for some reason there was the 8 padans in 5 days. It would take them 5 days to go on the airship and find this place, but John took supplies for 8 padans. And then there's a question about what that is, so it I gathered it was 40 days. That's what 8 padans is. So I don't fucking know, but it's math. Um, so Cal and Barbarti make their way out of the valley. There's glow sticks. Glow sticks pop up because they go through a tunnel, I think.
yeah, I don't remember there being glow sticks on Mars.
Yeah, the Barbarti pulls one up. I
No, I'm
read,
saying in
generally speaking, yeah.
yeah.
It's again one of those like higher sci-fi things that didn't really. But they go through this place where there's dried shit, puddles of piss, parasites, just the festering environs. And my note says, "Is this Los Angeles?" Uh,
Maybe.
yeah. So at the end of chapter 15 is where the airship appears and the current partners are captured. Chapter 16 just sees John travel for another day, hoping to reach the water source. That's another superfluous fucking chapter. Um,
Should not have been there.
yeah. In chapter 17, we find out that Barbarti has an extra limb he keeps on hand for just these kinds of situations.
Keeps on hand.
Yes. So thanks for picking up on that. So they dispatch the assailants and fuck off in the skyship. Um, Barbarti recounts his life story and he remembers being born. The role of Barbarti will from now on be played by Terrence Howard. I don't know if you saw him on Rogan. He opens with "I remember being born. I remember a light," and then screaming, and it's mad. Just watch Terrence Howard on Rogan. It is insane. The "he remembers being born" part is what
Yeah,
tipped
that makes
off
me think of
this
like
person.
Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi, like how she remembers Padme and stuff. And then when the prequels are made, it's like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the Force works in mysterious ways. What can I say?
Yeah.
George Lucas does not work in mysterious ways. He just can't
Oh
keep
no,
his.
no, no. It's quite mysterious.
It's mysterious how he had a plan for like 12 of these movies when he came up with the first one, and then he manages to like fuck all of them up a little bit each time he came out with a new edition.
Yep.
Oh, so they overnight near Itrium, then Cad Bane makes his way into town alone because these people might not be welcoming to Tharks, which now it's a thing. I guess they weren't welcoming to them earlier either because they fucking
No,
cattle prodded him, but
yeah, but he was a captive then, so they were okay with him being in the settlement, I think. Whereas this way, he wouldn't be a captive, and they would probably be like, "Ah, kill him."
right, right.
So at least some of that good old Martian racism still exists.
So yeah, he goes into town alone, and in a twist that will surprise nobody who could rob 2 neurons together, Barbarti betrays Cal, assembles his own crew to go
What?
find John and the water. In related news, Cal cannot, in fact, rub 2 neurons together.
And he sends like a bunch of those civilians to go capture that Cal because it's like he's got a bounty on his head, and they're like, "Woo, boys, let's go get him.
Yeah.
Let's go scale a mountain that he's on and attack him." I'm like, that seems like a bad idea.
So next up, we find that Barbarti is partnered up with the brother of one of the men that John killed
When he took the Thoats.
on his way to town. Yeah, because he gets out of Itrium real fast, so people don't learn that he was there.
Hmm.
Cal obviously survives his would-be captures, kills a salamander on his way forward, and just starts walking.
That's the theme of this book. They just start walking.
Yes. Then Barbarti and his crew sort of scan. They do a grid search pattern, searching
Yeah.
for John. Uh, Another day passes, and John keeps traveling. A rude sandstorm starts blowing. No, nothing.
I don't know.
Darude sandstorm.
I couldn't catch that. Yep. Yep. I should
I'm
have.
sorry. So the sandstorm catches the ship, and it crashes, and Barbarti kills the rest of the men. The
Because the water situation, it's like there's not enough water for all of us to get there, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, you guys aren't coming."
yeah,
Bah, 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 bah.
there is now enough. There is in fact enough water for all of us going forward. Forward, all of us being me and my extra limb.
Yeah.
Um, So we're at a point in chapter 19 out of 28 where all three of the characters are now plotting their way overland due south and east. And I was feeling like the old lady at the beginning of the Titanic movie. It's been 84 years.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
yeah, it's
Like for a
because
relatively simple quest, like why is it taking this long?
my God, like nobody lives in this place, and somehow they found two settlements. There was a hint of a third. They found an
Hmm.
airship. They found another airship. Well, they found a crashed airship. They found a functioning airship.
That
Crashed
then
it.
crashed.
Like fuck, man. The Martian civilization is going nowhere with these fuckers until. Um,
It kind of reminds me of, because here's our ding Thongor. It kind of reminds me of in Thongor how they just like bumble around constantly
right.
and just run into random things on their quest, and it's like just get to where you're going, man.
They run into random things that help them get to where they're going faster, but still we get some chapters that are pure bloat. There's nothing, like I have one line of note for like three chapters. There's nothing that happens there that couldn't have been a paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so about a week passes by my
They're just
calculations because
they're
he goes for a day and then 2 days and then 3 days and then his thoats all die because he had like however many he's got, two or three, I think.
it's
Um,
three because there was three guys and he
no,
rides
because
one and he gets right.
these are the yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I guess they all expire of what I can only assume is boredom at this point.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Um,
For real.
yeah, John also collapses from lack of water during the day, but awakes in the night.
He somehow wasn't like eaten by like a random
Anything that was, yeah,
creature or
we had stuff that we had the lizard that Cal killed earlier. We had the Orluk that lived in the other place. We've got roving Tharks that, apparently a lot of shit is happening in this desert, but not
but now
now.
he may have fell asleep in the part of the desert where there was no life that he mentioned like 15 chapters ago.
Right. He had to travel a week to get there, in fairness. Um, then chief among the details the moons revealed were a pair of rounded spires jutting up into the sky like two fingers raised in silent defiance, and my note is two middle fingers raised in defiance to this stupid fucking plot.
Yeah.
Uh, I think John at this point butchers the Thoats, and he has his fill
Yes.
of water and food and is immediately restored. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This is again Thongor levels of healing.
Uh,
Thongor gets hit on the head. Next chapter, boom, he's up, he's awake, he's ready, he has no concussion, nothing.
yeah, like
This guy,
he is exhausted and like famished and dehydrated, and then the chill of the night refreshes him enough to like wake up and then do all that he did. And
but he's the great, 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 great grandson of John Carter. He can
oh,
do everything.
of Jumpy McJumpson. And yeah, there's a note of only sheer will drove him on, and I said, finally, a proper use of sheer. Twice now he's collapsed and awoken while being mostly dehydrated. What stirred within him to make this possible, I hear you ask? The need for the story to reach its conclusion. Um, and this is where he finally finds the lake that
The Lonely Mountain.
the eye, yeah, the lake under the lonely mountain, the eye of water, which is this crystal clear water, and the bottom of it is revealed to be made of bones of all kinds.
Yeah, so then it's like, oh, is the water like poisoned? Did I go all this way for no fucking reason? And I was gonna be pissed if that was true. I was like, there's no point for this book.
That would have been a great fucking yoink. Like, well, nope, not as pure as you might have thought. Shit happened since that airship crashed however many years ago, and land poisoned, you all die. They should have all shot each other, like in the
Yeah.
final face-off. Should have all fucking.
Yeah, it should have been the good, the bad, and the ugly at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Another day passes after we get a detailed description of the plant-eating men of Barsoom and their genetic makeup. Lynn Carter stirs.
Okay, the plant men are from the Barsoom stories, though.
Yeah, no, I know, but we get like serious detail.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We get
how they
Lynn Carter-ish.
look, what
Yeah.
it was. That's our second dong.
They've been here for 7,000 years, and they've eaten all the critters that were nearby.
Eye and a small brain, and oh, where was this? All of this fucking exposition for the past 20 chapters.
Yeah.
So that was annoying. I was checked out at this point.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it was like I don't know what the fuck I was expecting, but it wasn't this, you know.
I did like that he named the plant people, because before they were always just the plant men of Mars.
It was fasciae.
Yeah, the fasci. He's a
Fasciae.
fascist.
Yeah, obviously. It's 88. Come on, man. The book cover is red with like a slightly light looking center thing. No, it's not. I thought it was a circle. There's not a circle. Their hands are sort of twisted around, like you can sort of, if you squint a bit, you know, the swords are all pointing the same way in a circle.
Turn the book sideways.
Oh man, we are not implying that Chuck Dixon is in any way.
No, we're making fun of the people that think he is.
Yes, in this day and age, it pays to.
To clarify.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, Bear Grylls uses his survival knowledge to keep alive in his long trek across the Thark Takama-esque desert.
Doesn't he like drink the blood of a Thoat at one point? One of them does.
One of them does. I don't think it's Cal.
Also, maybe it's.
It might be, because it says that blood and piss might sustain him, but he would need water before long.
Yeah. So yeah, he drinks the blood of a Thoat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was pretty metal. Like, that was pretty cool. Again, Bear Grylls.
Yeah. He actually he comes across a herd of bants.
That's what it is. He kills a bant and drinks it.
Yeah,
drinks the blood.
He was a Thark, and his kind were the true masters of the land. Not great judges of character, though.
Yeah.
He then tames a Thoat in no time flat by impaling it with his sword through the nose and keeping it pinned to the ground until it submits to his fucking will. I got fucking nothing, man. But by morning, the Thoat was chilled so that he could ride it. Yeah, but you still have to pull the fucking sword out of his septum. It's
again, like... Thongor. Remember when they tame those one things? When they're like they're going to that like wizard tower.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's
been so long.
Some of the riding dragons, right? Or the dinosaurs or something.
Maybe, but it was like they were wild ones, and Thongor tames them.
Right.
Thongor tames them in like a 2-second montage that's ridiculous.
He just does this with his hand, and the puppies are like...
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long. I'm never rereading them, though.
Listen, dude, Yellowstone's been around, like, for a few years now.
Yeah. Well, probably people, 5 or 6 years.
Like, the mainstream now knows what, breaking a bronc looks like.
Looks like, yeah.
It takes for fucking ever, right? And it is your will against the animals, and you don't fucking poke it with a stick in its septum of all, like, what the you pin it to the ground. It has to, no matter how chill it is, first of all, it's lost blood. And then no matter how chill it is, and it understands that you're its master, you still have to put the fucking
Oh,
anyway.
I know. Even like the Mandalorian did a better job of like showing how you break an animal with that one lizard
Right.
thing. He gets like
Right.
thrown off like 15 different times, and it shows that like multiple days progress, and like
It takes him like a fucking week. See, that could have been a chapter.
yes, that would have been a cool, like, well, not cool, a better chapter than what we get in a lot of these
Definitely.
chapters.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was a thing that happened.
He's a big,
Um,
strong Martian who just says, "Fab, you're mine now."
I mean, I guess it's a Martian type thing to do.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah. Meanwhile, John establishes camp inside this mountain of the plant man,
The fascist mountain,
the fascist mountain.
the
This is
Nazi plant man mountain.
this is canon. He inadvertently runs into some beetles that live beneath the ground,
Yeah.
which reminded me of that one scene in the Pirates of the Caribbean where Johnny Depp is in David Jones's locker, and there's all those stones on the ground that are in fact crabs, and they like
Oh yeah.
come alive. Kind of
I
like
thought
that.
of Fable 2 whenever you're in like the cave there at the beginning with the
I've not played Fable 2.
okay, like the beetles, like they come up out of the ground and you got to fight them.
Okay. Yeah, that's
It's like in
probably
a sandy area.
right. That's probably more on point because mine were just stones on the ground. But again, with the whole like white pale desert thing, seeing as we're speaking of Nazis, it's obviously going to be a pale desert.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so he sets about creating water caches for town so that he
Which
can. It's a
yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. It's a nice like every day he goes further on, he like replenishes the supplies and like drinks water from them.
Yeah, cuz he finds like this like collection of like pots and pans and shit in this place and he's like,
Some
"Oh,
of
you
them
just fill
filled
these
with oil.
yeah, amps, I think is what they are, right? Or
Amphore?
amphorae, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
So in the third night or so, by my calculations, with another fucking week passes, he's found by Kalkadak, which opens up another tenuous fucking partnership.
Cuz it's like, look, we're going to need both of us to get this shit going because
Yeah,
that's a long way back to town, man.
yeah, yeah. This brings the whole frenemies thing back to the previous point. So you've got John hunts Cal, catches Cal, leads Cal, Cal escapes, Cal catches John, leads John, they partner up, split up. Barty catches Cal, they partner up, Barty betrays Cal, they split up. Cal and John meet up, partner up. I wonder what will happen next.
Yeah, by
Uh
this point it's gotten super old that like there's this constant like remerging partnership thing all the time.
yeah, I don't think it needed to happen this many times. Like it might have been a better I don't even know how to describe it. Like a better feel for the story if Cal was just jumping from one captor to the next and like not
Yeah.
partnering up with them and like being treated as such. Because he was betrayed, but like what the fuck? Just just leave the guy there
Yeah. And then
when
like
you found
eventually
him.
maybe finally partnering up with
Right.
John at the end.
It would have made for a better, more impactful moment. I think. Like I guess they sort of make sense. The partnering up things make sense in the specific
In the
moments.
context of the situations and stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyway,
It's too repetitive for a book this small.
it just it's again it's a hand wave to like oh now they travel together and we find out a little bit about one or the other because I guess if they weren't partnered up and willing to share stuff then it would have been harder for them to have these dialogues and share these moments I guess.
And it seems like the weaponry that this John Carter uses is the original John Carter's weapons that have been
Hmm.
passed down generation to generation, which is neat, but also like, why the hell would you do that? There's radium guns.
Humans like their bang bangs.
You know what? That's fair. I do like revolvers. There's modern weapons now, and I don't care about them. I like revolvers.
Yeah,
So you know what? Fine.
And it is a Western. It's obviously a Western book. And what's
Yeah.
more Western than the revolver and the
Yeah, but I'm just
horses
saying
they're
though.
riding?
Yeah.
Yeah, the multi-legged fucking Sleipnir horses they're riding. We're down to the final three chapters. They start collaborating, working to retrieve the water to get it to Itrium and like start, I don't know, a fucking business.
Yeah, the water hauling business is what they want
Which
to set up a water magnet type thing is what they are.
right, and this begs the question. There's fucking two of them. There's been betrayals left and right in this book already. The idea that this is the moment where they actually work together and manage to keep this thing alive long enough to, I don't know, establish a team and make this thing work is, I'm like, nah. Nah.
No,
It's not
no,
like the
and
sequel to this book is them getting to Itrium and being lynched, and then the people following their like footsteps in the desert back to the fucking mountain where they find the water
yeah.
or whatever.
Or even if
You know,
not, it's like they establish a trade route there, and then like a month later, a horde of people show up outside, and they just murder them, and then they just live in the mountain.
right? Because there's only fucking two of them. But yeah, I guess wishful thinking. There's another day passes as they contemplate bringing the roof down upon the fasciae, and I did not understand exactly what John MacGyvered here, but I'll trust whatever physics lesson we're getting because at least it's
Uh,
not explained with a schematic and uh,
like
an
the
an
Plantmen were.
an annex or whatever. Yeah, so they use their thoats to bring the ceiling down across the tunnel where because so the plan men are like during the night they suck on the water which keeps the water level down because it's a fountain and then they go back out into the sun and they just stay there looking stupid and then they come back in and there's a fucking bunch of them, right? There's like this forest of the fucking things
Yeah,
and their idea is like lock them out of this point but
they could just go down and then come through the entrance and then kill them.
they could just fucking go around, right? Like it's I
They're
mean,
made out of like they're plants. I don't think them jumping off of the mountain would kill them.
yeah, it would just result in
Or
some splinters.
yeah. Also, whenever I think of these guys in my brain, they look like broccoli. That's what I see in my brain. They're broccoli walking
Oh
around.
man, you've ruined them for me. I was
Like
thinking of
Veggie Tales. Like Veggie Tales broccoli is just
so my idea was more of the fuck, there's what's the Pokemon, the grass type Pokemon?
I
Um
don't know. I don't know
fucking
Pokemon.
broccoli dude. Um
That's what they are to me.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ. I think Bellsprout. Yeah, yeah.
oh,
So to
I
me,
think I
they
know what
look
you're
like
talking about.
fucking Bellsprout with like afro hair, because they have the like they're described that way, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
So
still ridiculous, but
yeah, Bellsprout, but with just one eye, because it's
yeah.
they do have one eye. So it's like an army of Bellsprouts coming at them. So they bring the ceiling down. I think Hal mentions trying to burn them, right?
Yes.
There's a note of that. But they bring the ceiling down. It doesn't fucking hold because Bellsprout is angry. And chapter 27 is a chapter long battle against the plants, which they end up burning the rest of alive, or enough of them alive eventually, using the oil in some of the urns that they find inside the former dwelling inside the mountain. Which the combat was great. The action was very like visceral and nicely done, and you felt that desperation that they had in that moment. Like that was probably the best the book gets at that point. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the voice channel
Yeah.
a link to the VeggieTales character I'm thinking of.
Oh my god. uh, Guy Broccoli. That's amazing. Don't give up on doing good is the name of the episode that he appears in as well. Oh my. This is amazing.
So,
I can
so
imagine them with like little coats and like bow ties.
that's what the image in my brain was. A
They were
bunch of
just
those dudes.
listen, man. The plants were just chilling inside the mountain, and then these two fuckers come in,
Yeah.
ruin everything,
And
burn the
commit
plants alive.
genocide.
Yeah, planticide, vegicide. Like,
Vegicide.
what did the broccoli ever do to you? It's a fucking tasteless legume or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the battle happens, they burn many of the plants alive, and then there's a funnel of smoke that rises from inside this cave, inside the mountain. So,
So 88 knows where he's
Barbarty,
going.
yeah, 88 finally finds them, and there's again a good, bad, and ugly face-off where a bunch of shots happen at the same time, and 88 dies.
Yeah.
He is summarily taken out, and there's the face-off is really, really well done, I thought.
Yeah, it was
There's
very good.
there's tension, there's setup, but it's also like it just snaps. That's done. It happens real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cal and John are then left to handle the logistics of selling the water and also keeping the secret from others, I guess. And my
Yeah.
note is they won't. They're good as dead. The end.
Yeah, and I like the idea of like them being like, oh, maybe this will ruin the water supply when they burnt the stuff and this and that. But like that was cool. But then it's like, oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, they give
I'm like,
the
oh, okay.
Thoats a drink from it, and the Thoats are fine. And then at the end of the day, they also drink and they realize it's fine. And they're like, "Ah, we're rich." No, you're wet. You're not rich yet. Yeah.
And like they could theoretically live there the rest of their lives happy. They can eat the bugs. They can go hunting in the desert and get different things like banths, and they can come back and they rest in their like giant mountain with their pool of water and be happy. But they don't want to do that. They want to be rich. And I'm like, why?
Yes. They're not hippies. They're not hippies. They are capitalists.
Yeah, but I'm like, why? There's nowhere to spend your money. What
Plus,
are you buying?
If they go back to fucking, there were 2 airships on this planet.
And they're both destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, if they go back into civilization or near enough, word might travel, and that bitch Tegas might or Tagas might, catch wind of
Yeah, the Warhoons might show up.
where baby daddy is.
Yeah, and then she'll start demanding child support since he's got this mountain of water.
Maybe he just fills a balloon up with water, like real big balloon up with water, and drops it on the tribe and just smothers everyone. I don't fucking know, man. It's
probably don't read this book.
Yeah, I can't. I am amazed. I was talking to my wife. We were talking about like book ratings and book reviews. This thing has my fucking mouth doesn't even work anymore. It's got a 4.3 on Goodreads out of 29 ratings.
Ridiculous.
And from what she's saying, because she gives a shit about Goodreads reviews, generally from her books, what's above like a 4.1, that's a decent book for her. If it goes toward like 4.5, that's great. Again, this is 29 ratings, so literally nobody has read this book. It's got 49 ratings on Amazon, and it's got a 4.6.
No, I gotta go to Amazon and read these things.
And it's got, yeah, that's what I was gonna do. 3% of them are 1-star reviews, and I'm pretty much sure that was my angry 1-star rating after having finished the book and Kindle popping up the fucking rating.
Also, the audiobook for this doesn't have a narrator. It uses an AI.
Okay.
That's cringe.
I've heard a lot of shit AI narrating.
See more reviews.
This isn't your papa's Barsoom. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, let's go with our 1-star reviews here.
Can you see them? Because I can't.
I can't either. What about 2-star? Oh, there isn't any 2 stars. Let's do the 3-star ones. No, okay.
I can't see
4
3-star
stars?
either's. There's one. A twisty, exciting novel, 1,000 years after John Carter hit the Red Planet. It's amazing.
No, they should not make a movie of this. This would be the most boring fucking movie ever.
Oh my god.
It would be an hour and a half of them walking.
At least there would be nice vistas. Hey, maybe Elon Musk could make it. Actually on fucking Mars.
Hey, there you go.
That would be
I
a
would I would
like
watch that.
a good travel. It would be a good travel brochure for Mars. Let's get Elon in on this thing. Yeah, another great Sword and Planet adventure. Nope.
A worthy addition to the saga of Barsoom. No, it's not.
Every fan of John Carter of Mars by Burroughs will enjoy this exciting novel. I got one of them here who doesn't.
No, I hate this compared to the originals.
Yeah,
Like, I don't actually hate this book, but
it's not. It's an excuse to slap the ERB Barsoom on something. I feel if it hadn't been, this could have been like a weird Western.
yeah, if this was just a non-Barsoom but still set on Mars weird Western,
Mm-hmm.
I would have no. Well, I would still have a problem with the book's boring, but I would have much less problems with it.
Chuck Dixon's take on Barsoom doesn't disappoint with excellent action and 2 gritty protagonists. Feels like the original thing, only with better action. What are these people on? I want all of it and twice on Sunday.
For real, because the action's not better; the action's worse.
What action? There's
Yeah, the
yeah, okay.
the 3 different fight scenes.
I mean, that's a good percentage for 178 pages, and some of that is the covers, so it's like 160 something.
Oh god!
Given the devil his due, the fights do seem no. There's more drawn out fights in westerns, and more exciting fights in westerns as well. Like fuck, the fight at the OK Corral was better than
Yeah,
any action in this book, apart from maybe the bit at the end with the planned men.
yeah, and
I
like
don't know, man. The 5-star rating system is borked. Anyway,
yeah, you've got these people like claiming that this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it's not. It's not even good.
it's not sliced. It's not bread. If it were, it was. It would be days old, almost molding bread.
Oh, this isn't your Papa's Barsoom thing.
Mm-hmm.
It says Burroughs fans might find the initial chapters challenging due to elements that don't perfectly align with the original Barsoom lore. Yeah, no shit.
The initial 28 chapters of 28.
Yeah, such as the far future setting, changes to the world and societies, leading to confusion or a sense of disconnection from the iconic characters. Yes, that's exact. Why did you rate it 5 stars?
Yeah, and
it's not Barsoom. It's like when Disney adapts something and they just go, "Oh, here it is," and it's like that does just because you slap the name on it doesn't mean that's what this is.
Yeah. It's not a ripoff. It's a rip-snorting fresh take on Barsoom by a modern grandmaster of action-adventure who is well-versed in the work of one of the grandmasters who came before him. I hardly recommend it to fellow aficionados of either of those grandmasters. Isn't grandmaster like a chess thing?
Or a Jedi.
That. Yeah.
But yeah.
So we generally don't dunk on people's opinions, and there's a...
These people are wrong.
In short. But there's opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. There's a great saying in Romanian, which is you can't take a shit in people's tastes. I'm sort of ad-libbing it, but not really. So you can't shit on people's subjective opinions, but you can make fucking fun of them. Because
that's
this
true.
is I don't care what there are subjective angles that you can apply onto a book, and then there are objective things that like chapters that don't add anything, moments in the plot that feel contrived and added in just because plot needs to move to next point in plot.
And the disconnection from the traditional stories
That as well, like
objectively It's objectively disconnected.
Yeah, yeah. So you can't like, oh, if you're an Edgar Rice Burroughs fan, no, you don't lead with this is not the Barsoom you know, and then oh, but if you're a fan, read this, and it's a
Right.
more mature, grittier, whatever. No, it's Western with a taste of Mars.
It
Yeah,
should be, if you're a fan of spaghetti westerns, a fan of science fiction, and a fan of weird westerns, read
right.
this book, because that's the market for this book.
Yeah.
Fans of Edgar Rice Burroughs are not the market of this book. It just has that attached to it for name recognition
hmm
to trick people who like Barsoom into buying it.
I am disappointed. I'm less disappointed now, and I guess I wouldn't rate it 1 star like I did.
No,
Again,
it's
that
not.
that 3% might be me because the Kindle was like, "Did you like this book?" And I'm like, "1 star, this fucking thing." Like, fuck you, whoever said this was Barsoom. But yeah, it's not ERB. It's not John Carter. Some of the lineage stuff doesn't make sense. Again, an objective thing that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense if you know John Carter and how it all began and why. Don't. Definitely don't spend the fucking 35 on the hardback.
no. If you're gonna buy it on Kindle, it's only $5. That's whatever.
Yeah.
There are other books that you can get for $5 that are better.
I wonder how much is the John Carter of Mars?
That's a good question. You look that up, and I'll look up something else here.
So John Carter of Mars, the collection, which is A Princess of Mars, Gods of Mars, Warlord of Mars, Thuvia, Maid of Mars, and The Chessmen of Mars, is 23.50
Yeah,
paperback, right? So it's
yeah,
an omnibus of however many fucking 540 pages. Just get that.
yeah.
Seriously.
Or if you just want to buy something digital to read that's really good, most of the Conan stories you can buy individual ones for like $1,
Right.
or you can buy like modern stories for like $3, $4. Like there's so much out here. Or I don't know, what's a weird western that's good?
I would recommend an anthology from Raconteur Press, which I think is just called Weird West. It's Weird West, Tales of the Frontier and Fantastic. It's their first weird spelled W-I-R-D. Y-R-D, sorry.
Okay.
W-Y-R-D West. And I have read through uh almost half of this book. There's not a single it's shorts, it's an anthology. There's a bunch of them in it. I'm not sure how much it is.
I can't find this on Amazon.
You can't?
Oh, here it is.
It's a 6.29 on Kindle with a list price of
Yeah.
16 for the paperback.
Well, so they have a bunch of different Raconteur Press anthologies. All of them are like $6 or less.
Which is what we paid for this one.
Like, just
And being an anthology, you get shorter, condensed stories that are Weird West-ish, that need to be very focused, and that really pack a neat punch.
yeah. I don't know. Just there are so many better stories you can read for $5.
Right. This is what it should say in the tagline. I wonder if we can like retroactively get our quote on the cover.
I don't think they would appreciate that.
Maybe for the second edition. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're someone who like has to have every piece of Barsoom anything ever, sure, but you're not gonna like it.
Like you might like it and leave it 5 stars on Amazon, but then we'd appreciate if you didn't rate anything ever again on a scale of 0 to whatever.
Yes, yes.
Or
If
at
you want,
least give like a detailed how and why that is.
yeah, if you want expanded Barsoom lore, there is the old Marvel Warlord of Mars comics. You've got the Dynamite Warlord of Mars comics. You've got the Dynamite Deja Thoris comics. There is a anthology that I have. Under the Moons of Mars, New Adventures on Barsoom by other authors. That's $10 on Kindle. It's great. Not all the stories are great, but it's great. There are so many things that you can read that are set in the world of Mars, of Barsoom, that are far superior to this.
Yeah. I got hung up on one sentence of one of the reviews of This Isn't Your Papa's Barsoom. You marvel at the intense chases involving classic Barsoom creatures like Tharks, Thoats, Banths, giant white apes, and Plantmen. First of all, the chases are slow as fuck, if anything.
The only one with any agency is the Orluk.
And there are no giant white apes in this book. The only giant white ape that is mentioned is the one that Cal thinks he sees when he first meets John, and he's near his fire and he thinks there's a giant white ape there, but it turns out to be John. And this is a 5-star review. So just I'm discarding this out of hand because you can't fucking read. I'm sorry. But yeah, much better books in the genre, in the theme, in the IP. Much better books written by Chuck Dixon. He's got is Levante his character? I think it is. It's his like detective book series. And it's got a bunch of books in the series. It's not
Here's that Hobbit graphic novel that you talked about.
Yeah.
And he's wrote on Batman, on Robin, Nightwing. Yeah, here's the Conan books that he wrote. I mean, Bane, something called Civil War Adventure, which is some sort of Civil War comics. Catwoman. There's so many things.
And it was disappointing overall. It was just disappointment is what I'm left with after reading this.
Yeah. If you want to read something of his with westerns too, he wrote a Lone Ranger comic.
Oh, that's a nice combo. Chuck Dixon and
Lone Ranger, Snake of Iron. Yeah, there's so much. He wrote G.I. Joe books. Come on now. Yeah. I think my recommendation is read other Chuck Dixon things, not this thing. Read Barsoom, not this Barsoom.
Yeah. Read Weird Western.
Not this Weird Western.
Not this one. Basically, yeah, there's much better things to throw your money at in the general idea of this. We're sad to say. I mean, you can obviously not care about anything we say, but I think we've dug fairly deep into it, as opposed to people who mention that there are chases involving giant white apes, and then the apes are nowhere to be fucking seen in the book. That's offensive. It's seriously offensive to me.
Yeah,
I'm only half joking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because people believe this stuff, and they're glowing reviews, and you're like,
oh wow, I gotta buy this book. Everyone likes it. No.
Yeah. The only white ape related to this book is the one giving it 5 stars. Oh man, that's about all the nonsense we have time for today. We hope to have you here next time. If you want to follow the page and keep up with the podcast or the rest of the content we post every week, you'll find all relevant links in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and have as nice a day as you deserve.